Daddy-O here again from Dad Venture TV, demoing the Santa Cruz Tall Boy aluminum 29er. As I said, I believe it's the D build. It's definitely the cheaper build. Has an 11 speed SRAM NX rear derailleur 1x system, Fox float. What is that? DPS. EVOL with the EVOL, rear shock, Fox 34 rhythm fork, WTB saddle. It's the Volt 29er wheels. I think they're Bond Traders because I think these were put on from the Trek, the deal I would get it from. Has both Trek, sells with Trek and Santa Cruz. It's obviously, I got the room for the plus wheels because this bike is designed to do 27.5 plus. And this one though is the 29-inch, so it's 30 mil rims, 29 tires. So far, like I said, I like the bike. It's pretty fast. I did a pretty good time here yesterday. It is probably definitely in its best element, I think, on rolly terrain. I feel like this thing could probably keep up with most of your cross-country races and trails. You could probably use this. For here, I would prefer a 27.5 tire, plus tire. I think for these real rocky sections, especially the slow going, the 29ers are not the best way to go. I actually, yesterday, was unable to clear a few rock gardens that I was able to clear with ease with the 27.5 plus. If you go watch that video of the Trek Fuel EX, which had 27.5 plus on it, some of those rock gardens there I was just cleared with ease. This one I either couldn't or I was struggling more. The tire definitely gets jammed up more in rock gardens because of the more narrow tire. Also, I feel like the 29er just, God, it's so hard to get going when you're going slow and you're on uneven terrain, going sort of rock crawling over rocks. I don't feel like I don't have the traction, and then it's also just so much energy to get those wheels spinning, which is interesting because you'd think it would be a lot of energy to get the 27.5 plus wheels going too, but I don't know, I don't feel that, and maybe it's because the extra traction of the plus really overcomes the extra power needed for the larger diameter. Whatever, I definitely prefer the 27.5 plus for these rocky terrains. I'm gonna demo this again with the plus wheels on here, but I'll have them swap it out next time. This is a large. I am 5'10". I feel like the large fits pretty well here. I would probably put riser bars on it, different hand grips. Other than that though, as I said, the bike is pretty decent. It's a good entry-level bike if you don't have a lot of money. If you're looking for something for under $3 grand, I mean, go for it, and then you can upgrade your components later. For me, I think probably what I'm, again, still thinking of doing is buying a frame and putting the components on that I want. I definitely don't want the Fox Rhythm. I definitely want a 2x system again for me. In these kinds of trails, a 2x works for me a little better. I'd put the Renthal Fat Bar lights on there for handlebars. I would probably put a little different equipment on it. Whether or not I'll get a carbon frame, I don't know. Depends on how much I really want to spend. It'd be nice, but they're really expensive, and I'd rather get the better quality components. But for an entry-level bike, you know, this thing is great. I mean, it gets you out on the trail, gets you going. Obviously, it's good on the downhills, but you're more forward, just because the head angle on this is about 68 degrees. I think what they advertise it, and feels like about that. Of course, that makes it nice on the climbs. But you notice it when you go off stuff. I'll tell you, it's a real poppy bike though. It's easy. One nice thing about it is even though you're pitched forward a little bit more, it's easy to pull that front wheel up. So if you're going off something, it's real easy to get your weight back and de-weight the front wheel or even pop it up. So, at any rate, something's crawling around over there. Hope you enjoyed the video here, and good bike. I mean, if you're looking for a good all-around trail bike, this is a nice one. I went through some pretty big chunk and didn't blow through yet my entire suspension, so probably about 80% of it, 85% of it, but I didn't blow through the whole thing yet. I'll take some video of Wisp, which is a downhill park, and see how it does over there. So hope you enjoy it. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, Daddo here at the top of the mountain. Wanted to do a quick video on two things about the Tall Boy here, now having just climbed to the top. So this is, as I said, the lower end build. I think it's the D, but it has the Fox 34 Rhythm fork, and it has the SRAM NX 1x11 system. And those are the two components I think let this build down. This bike is way more capable than either of these two components. I think the Rhythm just seems to collapse too much. As I said, it doesn't seem to have too much progressiveness in the shock. This is the fork. The rear shock seems fine, but I'm not a fan of this Rhythm. I feel like the bike could do more if I had a shock that I felt a little more comfortable in. In fact, what I've been doing sometimes is actually moving it to the middle setting for between the open and the close. I've adjusted the air pressure and everything and futzed with that. Nothing really seems to be making a difference. The other thing is the 1x11. I mean, look, if you're young and strong and you ride a lot, you can probably deal with it, but I'm 46, 215 pounds, and I work at a desk job as a lawyer. So, you know, riding 3 days a week doesn't get me the fitness for a 1x11 on real mountains. For flow trails, it's fine, it's beautiful. But if you're actually doing mountains, this bike could live in the mountains, man. I mean, this thing is so capable up here. But it's let down by, in my opinion, the 1x11. You need a lower gear. If you have the 29ers on here, get the Eagle. I mean, you can definitely do that. If you have the 27.5 plus, I do not recommend the Eagle because of how low the derailleur hangs. I think it's dangerous. If you get a 27.5 plus, I would put a 2x system on here. I mean, personally, I'd put a 2x even on a 29er, but a lot of people like the 1x, the simplicity, I guess, whatever. So anyway, so those are my two quick thoughts after riding. This is actually not a bad build. It'd get you out there, but I think the two components you'd want to replace first would be the fork and the drivetrain, and get something with a lower gear. So anyway, my quick thoughts on the ride. Cool bike though, I love it. This bike is super capable, and I think those two components hold it back. So we'll do a little downhill here, and I'll GoPro it, and we'll see how she does. Hey guys, so I'm at Wisp. I just thought I'd do a quick video on my thoughts on the Tall Boy, doing some downhill park here. Hold it like this. There we go. So the bike definitely is doing this without a problem. Definitely a little more forward pitching though. Also, I think actually I might want an extra large frame. I've been feeling a little bit more forward than I like to feel on the bike, and I think it's because the reach in the frame. So the reach on this is 450 on a large, 450 millimeters or centimeters, whatever they use, but it's 450. On the Trek Fuel EX, which I demoed, which felt perfect for me, was actually a 21.5 inch frame, which would be like the equivalent of kind of an extra large here. And that had a 480 millimeter reach. So I think I like the longer reach. I'm 5'10", but my upper body is longer than my legs. I've only got a 30-inch inseam. For me, and anybody built like me, you might actually think about going a size larger than what the sort of recommended specs say. Although, obviously, most important thing is if you can get out and ride one. But I think a bike with a little bit longer reach for me would make this perfect. So I think actually I'd be interested in trying this in an XL. Again, still want those 27.5 plus tires instead of these 29ers on this. Even here at Wisp, these bike trails are pretty tight, twisty, turny. doesn't show up so much sometimes on the GoPro, but these turns here are pretty tight, and the 27.5 plus just, man, gives you so much better better maneuverability. Also the grip, so it rained last night, of course, because it's been beautiful and hasn't rained, and then the day before I go to the downhill park it's going to rain, so it rained, and the trails are a bit muddy. Again, man, the 27.5 plus give you so much better traction over those wet rocks and in that kind of not super deep mud, but where the trail's wet basically. So anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Nice bike. Again, this rhythm shock though is really letting the bike down. In fact, on this downhill stuff, I've had to really try to pump it up as much PSI in it as I could, and I've actually even taken it down off of the full open just a notch to try to get a little progressiveness in it, so it doesn't just dive and completely compress on me all at once. It seems to be doing okay, but I wouldn't buy a rhythm shock. Don't like it. So there you go. There's my thoughts. Hope you enjoy you take a look at the trail footage and enjoy it. See you guys.